Reddit, what's the best joke you know?
Joke 1. What do you get if you insert human DNA into a goat? Kicked out of the petting zoo. Joke 2. A New York stockbroker finally cashes in and decides to retire, so he buys a ranch in Montana. On day 1 he's working on the fence and in a cloud of dust down the road comes a pickup truck and it pulls up beside him. Out jumps a big strapping ranch cowboy. "Howdy partner, I am your nearest neighbor from down the road a piece. Came by to say hello and invite you to a party I'm having Saturday night." "Well, that's very nice of you. I'd be glad to attend," says the stockbroker. The big cowboy cocks his hat and says, "Well, I should tell you there's going to be some drinking." The cowboy then says, "Okay, well, I should warn you, there might be some fighting." This takes the stockbroker back a little bit, but he replies, "Well, I am from New York. I've seen my share of fights." "Okay then," says the cowboy as he's getting back into the truck. "One more thing, there's going to be some sex." The stockbroker replies, well, okay. Say, what should I wear?" Cowboy says, "Oh heck, it don't matter, just going to be you and me." Joke 3. The divorce court judge says to Mickey, "Now let me get this straight, Mr. Mouse. You want a divorce from your wife Minnie because she's crazy?" And Mickey says, "No, I never said she was crazy, I said she was fucking goofy." Joke 4.
Doctor, will I be okay? I don't know, Mercury is in Uranus right now. I don't do astronomy, doc. Me neither, my thermometer just broke.
Joke 5. A boss had 2 employees. Alice and Jack. He only needed one. But they were hired at the same time and were both equally good at their job. He couldn't decide which to get rid of. He was sitting at a bar thinking about the situation. Alice walks in and D sits beside him and asks, "You seem down, what's wrong?" The boss said, "I need to either lay you or jack off." Alice says, "Well, please jack off, I'm tired." Joke 6. An Irish man walks into a pub. "What'll you have?" the bartender asks. "Give me 3 pints of Guinness, please," says the man. The bartender brings him 3 pints, and the man proceeds to sip them alternately, the first one, the next one, and then the third one, until they're all gone. He then orders 3 more. "Sir," says the bartender, "I know you like them cold. You don't have to order 3 at a time. I can keep an eye on you, and when you get low I'll bring you a fresh cold one." "You don't understand," the man says. "I have 2 brothers, one in Australia and one in the States. We made a vow to each other that every Saturday night we'd still drink together. So right now, my brothers have 3 Guinness stouts too, and are drinking together." "What a wonderful tradition," the bartender says, smiling. Every week after that, the man comes into the bar and orders 3 beers. But one week, he orders only 2. He drinks them and orders 2 more. "I know what your tradition is," says the bartender sadly, "and I'd just like to say that I'm sorry that one of your brothers died." "Oh, me brothers are fine," says the man. "I just quit drinking." Joke 7.
Hey race, a classic. So a grandpa takes his grandson out fishing. The grandpa pulls out a smoke and lights it. The kid asks, "Hey grandpa, can I have one?" And he says, "Does your dick touch your ass?" And the kid says, "Well no," and grandpa says, "There's
your answer, you're too young." Then grandpa pulls out some whiskey and takes a few pulls off the bottle. Kid asks, "Hey, could I have a drink of that, grandpa?" And grandpa says, "Does your dick touch your ass?" "Well, no it doesn't," says the kid. Grandpa says, "Well, Therese, your answer." So the kid pulls out some cookies and starts snacking away on them, and grandpa says, "Gee kiddo, those cookies look pretty good, could I have one?" So the kid says, "Does your dick touch your ass?" And grandpa says, "Why yes it does." And the kid says, "Good. You can go fuck yourself then." Joke 8. Dave knows everyone there is to know. Dave was bragging to his boss one day, "You know, I know everyone there is to know. Just name someone, anyone, and I'll know them." Tired of his boasting, his boss called his bluff. "Okay, Dave, how about Tom Cruise?" "No dramas, boss, Tom and I are old friends, and I can prove it." So Dave and his boss fly out to Hollywood and knock on Tom Cruise's door, and Tom Cruise shouts, "Dave, what's happening? Great to see you. Come on in for a beer." Although impressed, Dave's boss is still skeptical. After they leave Cruise's house, he says that he thinks Dave's knowing Cruise was just lucky. No, just name anyone else," Dave says. "President Obama," his boss quickly retorts. "Yup," Dave says, "old buddies, let's fly out to Washington." And off they go. At the White House, Obama spots Dave on the tour and motions him and his boss over, saying, "Dave, what a surprise, I was just on my way to a meeting, but you and your friend come on in and let's have a cup of coffee first and catch up." "Well, The boss is very shaken by now but still not totally convinced. After they leave the White House grounds, he expresses his doubts to Dave, who again implores him to name anyone else. The Pope, his boss, replies. Sure. Says Dave. My folks are from Germany, and I've known the Pope a long time, so off they fly to Rome. Dave and his boss are assembled with the masses in Vatican Square when Dave says, "This will never work. I can't catch the Pope's eye among all these people. Tell you what, I know all the guards, so let me just go upstairs and I'll come out on the balcony with the Pope." And he disappears into the crowd headed toward the Vatican. Sure enough, half an hour later Dave emerges with the Pope on the balcony, but by the time Dave returns, he finds that his boss has had a heart attack and is surrounded by paramedics. Working his way to his boss's side, Dave asks him, "What happened?" His boss looks up and says, "I was doing fine until you and the Pope came out on the balcony and the man next to me said, 'Who the fuck's that on the balcony with Dave?'" Joke 9. 3 men went to hell, and they stood before the devil. The devil asked the first man, "What did you do for a living?" The man answered, "I was a lumberjack." The devil said, "Then we will chop your penis off." He turned to the second man, asking the same question he asked the first. "I was a fireman," said the second man. "Then we will burn your penis off," said the devil. He turned to the third man, asking the same question he asked the other two. The third man thought about it, and finally answered the devil, "I was a lollipop salesman." Joke 10. One day 3 people were stuck on an island with cannibals. The cannibals said, "If you do what we say, we won't kill you." So the 3 people followed the orders the cannibals. So the cannibals said, "Go into the forest and pick 10 fruits of the first fruit you see." So the first person came back out of the forest with 10 apples. The cannibals said, "Put the apples up your ass," without making a facial expression. The person then made a facial expression after the second apple, so the cannibals killed him. The second person came back out of the forest with 10 cherries. The cannibals said, "Put the cherries up your ass," without making a facial expression. The person then started laughing on the 10th cherry, so they killed him. In heaven, the person with apples asked the person with cherries, "Why did you start laughing?" The person replied, "I saw the third person come out with pineapples." A man goes to a bar and claims his dog can talk. Bartender, "Oh yay? Prove it." "Okay, dog, what goes on top of a house?" Dog, "Roof." Bartender, "That's stupid, what else?" "Well, what is the opposite of smooth?" Dog, "Rough." Bartender, "Come on, you get one more shot or I'm throwing your lying ass out of here." "Okay, dog, who's the best baseball player of all time?" Dog, "Ruth." The bartender isn't impressed and throws them out the bar. On the way home, the dog says, "Should I have said Hank Aaron?"